Gratitude, peace and blessings, peace and love. How's everyone doing today? Make sure all my stuff is right. Peace. All right. I think we're ready to roll. Gratitude, peace and blessings, peace and love. Hope you guys have been doing well, my beautiful YouTube family. I'm back with another one. I'm back with another one. Hope everybody had a good week. Yes, gratitude, peace and blessings, peace and love. Yes, only my Patreon members know about these Buddha medallions. The Patreon members. Now, of course, this is special made by, but the Patreon members been getting the Buddha medallions. This one is special made by myself. But thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Peace and love, peace and blessings, family. We are going to be talking. I wanted to come in here a little earlier, so I'm gonna have to be off of here around 7. So we got about 45 minutes. I'm gonna try to come in here, family, and give you guys. I know I didn't really plan the live stream. I should have planned it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really plan it, so I'm gonna come in here, family, and I'm gonna let you guys know what time it is. You know what I mean? With these books, we got some good books that I want to show today. Let me see. We just got 100 people in here, so we gonna get this thing started. We're gonna get this thing started, family. Peace and love, peace and blessings. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is doing well. I just want to let you guys know that if you've been wanting to meet Brother Yosef, I will be doing another in-live event this year, towards the end of the year. I just decided I'm going to do that in Houston, Texas. So if you've never been to Houston, more information will come out on that very soon, family. All right, but I got some good books I want to show y'all tonight. One or two of these books I showed y'all before, but I think y'all need to come back to these books and read them again. Or if you haven't bought it, you need to buy it. You know what I'm saying? You need to buy it, family. So we're gonna move forward because I don't got a lot of time, and then I'm gonna answer a few questions. Okay. So this is some books that I think that everybody needs to know about right now. Books I think everybody need to have. Somebody said when I'm be in New York. When somebody bring me out there. In the meantime, family, I'll be in Houston. I'll be in Houston, family. If you've never been to Houston, it's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. All right. So we only got about 100 people in here, and I understand because it's like I didn't tell people I was doing this live stream. So we're gonna keep it moving. All right. But I know people gonna come in here like, what I miss? So let's get started, family. And then we'll go to some Q&A. You know what I'm saying? After we get started, we'll definitely do some Q&A, family. All right. So the first book I want to show you guys, if you guys are interested in spiritual creatures, monsters, there's a lot of BS books out there, a lot of books that don't really give you a lot of good information. But this is a really good one, family. A compendium of monsters, myths, and legends. Right. I recommend you guys getting this book right here. Right. Terry Beverton. Right. So I recommend getting this book right here. Phantasmagoria. Goria. So this is a really good book. It gives you detailed descriptions on certain spirits, on certain monsters, on certain entities. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. They even got a whole chapter in here about the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I mean? So it goes into certain things that I think people just need to understand. Not just monsters and myths and legends, but also certain structures. They got a whole thing here on the Baphomet myth. You know what I'm saying? And from reading it, I think it's really solid information, right? So that's the first one I want to let you guys know about. Okay. The second one. This is a pretty good one, family. It mixes this is called Mind Seal, and it's a very good book on some things you can do to seal your mind, and it gives you incantations you can do. You see what I'm saying? It gives you certain incantations that you can do, family, that can really take your stuff to the next level. You know what I'm saying? It can really take your stuff to the next level, family. Some incantations, okay? So 100 mind seals, okay? Nathan Copperditch, right? 100 mind seals. This is a really good book right here, family. Really good book. Okay? I recommend it. And sometimes you don't understand it until you read it, right? You'll understand why it's a good book when you read it. Okay? All right, let's move on to now. This book, I believe I've given away before, but I think you guys need to go back around and research it. It's a really, really good book. And it's going to help you explain. It's going to help you understand a lot, family. It's going to help you understand a lot. All right. Magical Shield. Okay. Protection magic to ward off negative forces. Magical Shield. This is a really good one. Okay. This is a really good one, family. Magical Shield. Protection magic to ward off negative forces. Okay. For anybody coming in, I apologize. I know I should have let people know I was doing a live stream, but I didn't let a lot of people know. But yes, Magical Shield, family. All right. Magical Shield. This is another book, and I think this is the last one that I've shown before. But I think you guys need to come back around to it as we get deeper into the indigenous culture, the indigenous understandings, and the indigenous ways of life. Right? I think you guys need to understand this book right here. And it's animism. Right? Besides totemism, animism is the oldest spiritual system in the world. Animism. I'm going to say that again. If you want to study the oldest spiritual system in the world, it's going to be animism. Okay? Animism. Right? So here it is, animism, family. And respecting the living world. I recommend you guys get this as a good starter book to understanding animism. It's not a picture book, so it's more words in here than pictures. And but it's going to give you a good understanding on animism. And the oldest version of that will be totemism. You see what I'm saying? Totemism. So this is some really good. This is a really good book. I've showed this before, but I think once again you guys need to study that. Okay. Now here's a really good book, y'all. If you want to, well, let me just show y'all what it is. It's called Magical and Ritual Uses of Perfumes. Magical and Ritual Uses of Perfumes. Okay. Who's the author? Richard Allen Miller and Lona Miller. Okay. Magical use of perfume. You want to take your perfume to the next level. If you have a perfume that you love, but you want to turn it up to the next level spiritually. If you want to, somebody said it's frozen. Can everybody see me? Let me see. Somebody said it's not frozen. All right, brother David, it might be your computer. Everybody says it's not frozen. All right, let's see here, family. You guys give me a second here. Guys, give me 1 second. All right. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right. So if you guys want to know how to take your perfumes or your cologne to the next level, your perfume, your cologne, this is the one you need. All right. Magical Ritual Uses of Perfumes. Very, very good book. I'm telling you, if you got your favorite perfume, your favorite cologne, and you want to make it magical, this is going to give you something to take it to the next level. All right. Can everybody still hear me and see me? Can everybody still hear me and see me? Perfect. I'm gonna make sure my stuff ain't freezing up. Perfect. All right. I just gave y'all a banger right there. I don't know if y'all understand. Right there. You know what I'm saying? This is where you get the banging information at Brother Yosef channel. So this is a banger, man. Don't sleep on that. You know what I'm saying? Don't use it for bad stuff either. Very good book. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is something I was just having a conversation with somebody today about spiritual evolution. And some people think spiritual evolution has to do with the light body. The light body is one way to evolve. This is why, let me tell y'all something. If you ever see somebody talking about or trying to debate spirituality, you cannot debate it. Why can't you debate spirituality? Because there's so many ways to reach source. I'm going to say that again. You can't debate spirituality because there's so many ways to reach source. So when you're looking at the Buddha or you're looking at the Egyptians or the Mayans, all these different groups of people found a new way to reach source. There's even what people consider the left-hand path. There's a way to reach source. There's always a spiritual way to reach source. Okay. The light body is just one way, right? You also have stuff like your consciousness, which is the main thing you're trying to achieve. Okay. So if you can grow your consciousness, you can definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, grow your spirituality to where it needs to be. Right. So this is a really good book, Awakening the Unconditioned Awareness, which is what you want. Right. The Radiant Mind. Right. This is a really good book, family. I recommend you guys getting this book to open up your understanding about what consciousness is and open up your understanding about what you need to be doing down here, right? Once again, this thing is not about learning a bunch of magical spells. It's about learning how to evolve your consciousness, which represents your awareness. All right. All this stuff is a representation of that. So the Radiant Mind by Peter Finner. Peter Finner. All right. The Radiant Mind. Really good book, family. All right. Somebody said the animism. I like that one. Yes, I do like animism because I'm into indigenous. That's part of my lifestyle, my livelihood. So yes, and the animism is very important and it's really deep. You guys need to understand that. Also, speaking of books, if you guys want to support Brother Yosef, I just wrote a new children's book called Nubia and the Forgotten Drum. Right, Brother Yosef, that's my daughter's tribal name, Taliawi, which means two hearts there. Nubia, her real name is Nubia, but Nubia and the Forgotten Drum. And I want to shout out to my boy Atian for doing the artwork in this book. You know what I'm saying? Got Brother Yosef looking super dope. You know what I mean? And the link is below the description if you guys want to support and purchase the book. You know what I mean? Look at that artwork. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes. Look at that artwork. You know what I mean? So Nubia and the Forgotten Drum is based on a story about my tribe, you know, and it has a lot to do with my tribe as well. So beautiful book. If you guys want to support, the links below the video. Nubia and the Forgotten Drum. But definitely level up from my last book, children's book I did. All right. So yes, family. So yes, the next book is Tantra, The Way of Action, a practical guide to its teachings and techniques. Some of y'all don't understand Tantra. Some of y'all think it's just about sex. It's not just about sex. There's so much more to Tantra. Tantra is older than Buddhism. Peace and love to everybody coming in. Peace to the tribal members. Peace to the Patreon members. Peace and love. Peace to the YouTube members. Tantra, the way of action. Some of y'all don't understand Tantra. Tantra, Buddha studied, the original Buddha studied Tantra way before he studied Buddhism. Tantra was already there, okay? So here's the book. Really good book, family. These are books that if you want to really take your understanding to the next level, these are the books you're going to need. Some people ask me where I get my information. Well, these are some of the books I started with, fam. These are some of the books I started with, right? This book I had for a long, long time, all right? And once you take the knowledge that you get from these books, the information, you turn them into knowledge because now you know something, right? And then the knowledge you're able to turn into wisdom because you can use it. Well, how do you use it? All this stuff can be taken to the astral plane, to the spirit world. Now you're getting information that's not based on books, right? And I'm going to show y'all a book in a second that gave me the courage to speak about my astral experiences to make me know I wasn't crazy. You know what I'm saying? But y'all need to get this book right here. Francis King, Tantra, The Way of Action. Okay? This is something that must be studied, right? Must be studied, family. Very, very good book. Very, very good book. This is another good book based on Kabbalic principles. I don't think I ever showed this one. Kabbalah, mindfulness, and embodied spiritual practice. If you struggle with your mind, you're having trouble being positive. You're having trouble thinking positive. You're having trouble controlling your emotions, controlling your mind, right? One thing I love about Kabbalah is that Kabbalah teaches you that life is not about what's happening to you. It's about how you respond. I'm going to say that again. Life ain't never about what's happening to you. Life is all about how you respond to it. What does that really mean? That means that everything in life is a game. Everything in life is here to tempt you. Facts. Everything in life is a challenge. It's a test, is what I'm really trying to say. Right? So if you understand that everything, somebody talking bad about you, somebody done disrespected you, somebody tried to, whatever, right? Somebody stole from you, whatever it is. Then you understand that everything in life is how you respond to it. And the way you respond to it sets the tone and the reality for the rest of your life, right? And this is why we can't play a victim, because victim keeps you focused on what happened to you, right? You need to focus on what's going to be your response. Are you going to be a victim? Are you going to have a victim response? Or are you going to say, you know what? That happened to me, but I'm stronger. I'm better. It made me better. It was a stepping stone, right? And y'all going to see a lot more of my videos going to be encouraging. I feel like I've dropped so much spiritual knowledge on y'all. You know what I'm saying? So much spiritual information over the years. And the people on Patreon know it's even deeper on Patreon. But I want to do some encouraging videos and stuff in the future on my YouTube channel. And a lot of it is going to be based off certain spiritual principles. But Kabbalah teaches that, and I love it, right? So this is the book called God in Your Body. Man, know thyself and you will know God. This book helps you know yourself. God in your body. Right? Hopefully it's not popping up backwards, y'all. Okay, it's not. J. Michelson. God in Your Body. Very, very good book. This is one of my favorite books to read. Right? One of my favorite books. And once again, a book I read many times. So I'm trying to tell y'all, I had to shape there's a lot of books I read, not just on spell work, but they really shaped my mind as a spiritual individual. Right? You need your mind shaped sometimes as a spiritual individual. And what you don't understand is that the trials and tribulations you go through are all here to test you. Right? Not to destroy you. They're here to test you. So life ain't about what happened. It's about how you respond. Kabbalah teaches that, family. So God in Your Body. Great book. Now, this is the book I was talking about, y'all, that really gave me the courage to start sharing with people, no matter how crazy it sounds, my spiritual experience, what I experienced in the astral plane. This is a book called The Terra Papers, right? By Robert Morningstar. If you don't know who Robert Morningstar is, this person is a person that comes from the Hopi. You know, the Hopis are very psychic. You know, they have a lot of visions and dreams about the future. They're one of the only tribes, the Navajo too, Navajo, the Cherokee, all the tribes that have been right about a lot of things, but the Hopi get it really right on a lot of stuff, right? Everybody know they predicted Barack Obama. They also predicted Donald Trump, the guy with the red hats. They call him the white brother with the red hat. This is all stuff that's predicted by the Hopis. So this man is a channeler. He channels information on what we have. And this book goes into the Anunnaki. It goes into stuff about Enlil, Anu. Anybody who was in who took the Master Student Conference Part 2, know I went really deep. And I actually mentioned him in that. I mentioned his name in that lecture when I talked about the information I was giving y'all on Anunnaki. Right? So you got to know who are the good channelers out there. That's how you get deeper information on certain topics. I read a lot of books that channelers write. Spiritual channelers. But you got to know who the good spiritual channelers are. Right? So the Terra Papers. This is a good book. It has some really good information. I have like 3 copies. I had to buy another one because I couldn't find them. You know how it is. As soon as you buy a new copy, you find the other ones. So I have a lot of experiences in the astral plane based on what I see coming and stuff like that. This book, reading it, gave me the courage because it says some stuff that ain't written in so-called tablets and written in so-called stuff on Earth. It says some really out of the way stuff, but it's a good book. The Terra Papers by Robert Morningsky, indigenous person. Now, this is a book right here that I think everybody needs to have. It's a law book because you don't know the world you live in. Some of us don't know. It's the Articles of Confederation Explained, right? The Articles of Confederation Explained. Some people don't know what the Articles of Confederation is. I'm always talking about it. Articles of Confederation is the original United States Constitution. It's the Constitution of the United States of America, right? That the so-called indigenous people had their hand in, right? Had their hand in a lot. So at the end of the day, we need to understand that the Articles of Confederation still apply in court. And they created a new constitution called the U.S. Constitution. But the original constitution was the Articles of Confederation, right? And everything was based on the states having power. If you don't understand, Donald Trump is trying to return America back to this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The Articles of Confederation explained. Donald Trump is trying. I have different books on the Articles of Confederation, but it's the original and the first American Constitution. Y'all hear my cat? It's the first American Constitution. All right. So you guys need to understand this, especially if you're indigenous, because you know they saw the way that the so-called American Indians, the indigenous people over here, was already set up, and they had a confederacy and everything set up already. You know what I mean? So they wanted their stuff set up the same way, and thus you have the Articles of Confederation, in which the states had sovereign power. We're returning back to this, right? And this is what you need to understand. Some of y'all mad that the states are getting power. Well, you got to understand that's the way America started. America started with the states having power. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's one right there. I think everybody need to have. All right. This is a book I think I gave out only on my Patreon. I don't think I ever gave this on YouTube, right? But if I did, I'm thinking this is another book I think everybody need to read. I just did a Dragon Magic 103, and that is coming out very soon for those who want to purchase it. That'll be out this weekend. I'm gonna try to get it out by tomorrow. This is called The Initiate Guide to the Path of the Dragon. Okay. The Initiate Guide to the Path of the Dragon. Mark Amaru Pinkham. All right. The Initiation to the Path of the Dragon. This is a pretty good book, very good book, that talks about so many things that dragons are connected to and how to understand deeper and better things about dragons. This is the book, family. All right. Some of y'all are on Patreon. Some of y'all already got that book, already got this book because you're on my Patreon, and I gave y'all this book a minute ago. But this is something that I think everybody should have as well. All right. The dragons are going to be very important as we move forward. This is another good book, How to Create Sacred Water. A really good one, a banger. How to Create Sacred Water. Okay, this talk teaches you how to create your water, how to structure your water correctly. It talks about different places in the world that had structured water, that had blessed water, and you just didn't know the water was blessed. So you're going to learn how to bless your water. You're going to learn how to structure your water. You're going to read about people that have already been doing this. You know, we don't want to talk about Dr. Emoto. We know what Dr. Emoto did. You know what I mean? But it talks about water in different places. It talks about the Nile River. It talks about all kinds of places. All right. Oh man, I don't want to give it away, but it's a good book, right? It's a good book. How to Create Sacred Water. Okay. Guide to Rituals and Practices. Good book, family. You don't want to sleep on this. Trust me. How to Create Sacred Water. All right. Yes, you guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. I'm going to answer some questions here in a second because I have to be off of here by 7. I have a brotherhood meeting tonight. But yes, I'm gonna give you guys another one here. This one is really good as well. It's going to teach you how to make elixirs. Okay. It's called Aura Soma. Healing through color, plants, and crystal energy. So by using colors, plants, and crystals, you can make some super powerful elixirs for healing, for health, for protection, for love, everything. Right? Aura Soma. Really good book. I recommend you guys getting this. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed in this book. Thank you. People keep saying my necklace is fire. Thank you, family. The Patreon members, they got these. They don't got them exactly like this, but they got one similar. This is my personal one, but I make these, and the Patreon members I've been selling them on my Patreon. All right, so if you want one, join the Patreon, and I'll probably have them up for sale in the future on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, I'll sell them on Patreon, family. Aura Soma, family. Do not sleep on this book. Really, really good book. All right. How do you get rid of detritus? Detritus is something that will naturally come out of your system over time, but depending on how much you build up over the years, it's going to take a good cleansing. The detritus doesn't just affect your body, but it affects your aura, your spiritual energy. And the worst thing in the world that has detritus in is pork. Pork will eat your soul. I'm going to say that again. If you eat pork, it will kill you. It will eventually kill you. It will eat your soul, literally. You will start missing pieces of your soul if you eat pork. Pork is horrible for you. It will kill you, and it will hurt you spiritually. Straight up. So, keep all the pork you can out of your life. Keep it out. You know what I mean? Listen to high frequencies, 528 hertz. You know what I'm saying? 432 hertz. Right? Listen, 40, listen to the gamma frequency as well for your mind. All these things are going to transform you. They're going to transform you, family. Okay? Here's another good book. I believe that you have to get this off his website. I can't remember exactly where I got this book, y'all. This is a book I came across, and it blew my mind when I was reading it. It blew my mind. A lot of information. A lot of stuff that's going to make you think. A lot of stuff that's going to make you process. Okay? I really recommend this book. All right? The Murder of Reality. Hidden Symbolism of the Dragon. The Murder of Reality. Hidden Symbolism of the Dragon. Right? By Pierre Sabak. Pierre Sabak. Pierre Sabak. The Murder of Reality. Really, really, really good book, family. All right? What time we got here? Okay. Really, really, really good book. I think I'm going to do another one. I got more books I want to share with y'all. The Murder of Reality, family. This is a really good one. If you're looking for something that's going to really take you deep, get this book. All right? You can see the dragon right on the front with the horns. Right? Y'all know the devil is nothing but a dragon, right? If you haven't figured that out. What they call Satan looks like a dragon. You know what I'm saying? It's like a dragon, family. Some people think that's just a made-up character. So dragon symbolism is very, very deep. Let me answer some questions here, because I got to leave here in a second. And we'll come back on here. Divine Fold. Yes, that is a good practice to develop chakras, more than just the 8th chakra. But I recommend having your 7th chakra open before you try to develop your 8th. Once again, you can hurt yourself if you don't have all 7 chakras open. Maybe you do have all 7 chakras open. I'm not sure, but if you don't, I wouldn't recommend working on your 8th chakra. You have to have the other chakras developed, or you can severely hurt yourself. Because you can severely hurt yourself. My mother is a spiritual vampire and refuses to leave at my home. What can I do to get her to leave and cut the negative spiritual ties? I mean, it depends on how bad you want her out. You know what I'm saying? How bad do you want your mama out? You know what I'm saying? You may have to call the cops. You know, you don't need no magical spell to make mama leave. Depending on how bad you want, you have to call the cops. Say, you got to go. You know what I mean? But if you just want her to leave, you have to just tell her, you got to go. You got to go. And if she don't want to go, you have to probably call the cops. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to grow spiritually and you're in the house with a negative person, that's going to really affect your spirituality. Trust me, family. Trust me. Peace. Please, Brother Yosef, is it possible to have an ancestry altar and personal altar on the same table? Thanks. I would not put you're going to have the ancestor altar separate because of the energy, right? You're going to have the ancestor altars on a separate table. If you have a bookshelf, you can put, see, I wouldn't mix anything. Now, I would put a deity altar on top of an ancestor altar if I had a bookshelf. Put the ancestor altar on the bottom. You put the deity altar on the top. Always exalt the deities over the ancestors. Okay, that's how you should do it. But when you make your own personal altar for yourself, you need to separate that energy. You don't want any of the energy of your ancestors around that because of the frequency that's coming off the altar. Okay, that is strictly for your ancestors. If anybody in here has any pictures of themselves on their ancestor altar, take it off. Don't do it. You understand? Don't do it, family. Do not do it. All right. So that's what I recommend. That's what I recommend, family. Brother Joseph, how can we realize abracadabra? I don't understand that question. How can you realize abracadabra? I don't understand that question. Is burning ancestor money dealing with fire spirits? Yes, you're going to. Anytime there's fire, you're dealing with the fire elementals. You're dealing with those elementals, fam. Anytime there's fire, period. It's a pretty expensive book, yes. It's a pretty expensive book. What does it mean to have sleep paralysis and then have a very vivid dream about a man having sexual intercourse with you? Oh, that's very easy. You're being attacked by a succubus. That's a succubus attacking you, family. And the succubus will look like the thing that look like the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams. They can make themselves look like anything that you desire, right? To the point where you will start to like it and you won't mind that thing coming around. But what's going to happen is going to slowly suck your life force. You know what I mean? Even though this is how these things survive, I recommend cleansing yourself. A good spiritual bath, wearing a powerful amulet when you go to sleep will block them. They're not hard to fight. I had to learn that the hard way. You know, but they're not hard to fight. I recommend blocking them. You know, you don't want to start like a real fight like I did. I didn't know any better. You know, I actually destroyed their thought form. You know, they're actually thought forms. If you don't know that, succubus and incubuses, they're thought forms. Very powerful thought forms. And I actually destroyed one. You know, wasn't able to let it go. One came after my wife years ago when I was a young magician, and that started an issue with me for years fighting succubuses and incubuses. You know what I'm saying? So I recommend blocking them instead of fighting them. You don't want to start no war with them like that. I recommend blocking them because they can give you nightmares as well. They choose. All right. So you want to block them by wearing some type of spiritual amulet. Get you a powerful. The Eye of Ra is very, very good. I do recommend blessing it though before you wear it, and then just put it on when you sleep. And you should be good, family. Brother Joseph, is there any way to purchase the Dragon Magic class? Yes, I'm going to put that up this weekend, family. All right, the Dragon Magic 103 class will be up this weekend. Dragon Magic 101 is on YouTube, in case y'all don't know that. I took down Dragon Magic 102 because I pretty much gave out all the information that was in that lecture. You guys pretty much know that for the most part. And Dragon Magic 103 will be out. I'm trying to put out this weekend, family. Brother Yosef, let me see, what time is it? Can you transmute sexual energy? I am doing semen retention. Going on 2 months now. Well, what do you? Yes, you can transmute sexual energy into creative. I recommend transmute it into creative energy more than anything else. Sexual energy transmuted into a creative force. That's what I recommend transmuting. So really, pretty much, if you feel like you're really you want to be sexually active and you're doing semen retention, paint, create something, draw, whatever you got to do. Write a poem, channel it into something else. All right. And you actually notice that you get a lot of creative power from doing that. Can you do magic without money? Of course. Of course. Now you need to buy tools to do magic. So if you don't have no money, then you won't be able to buy all the tools you need. But you can still perform certain types of magic without a lot of money. You do need some type of money. All right. Let's see here. Where can we learn about the Sephiroth energy? I can't find anything practical. The Sephirotic energy, you're going to need to study angels. I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. You're talking about the Kabbalah aspect of it? Study Kabbalah, family. I think I understand what you're saying. Thank you. Once again, thank you. I'm glad y'all like the medallion. Thank you. Any books on shape-shifting? There is no real books on that's going to teach you how to shapeshift. I'm just going to keep it real with you. There's no books that's going to really sit down and teach you in a book. They're not going to teach the public how to shapeshift. Some people say you can find anything in a book. That's not true. There's only the books are limited. Just like you're going to learn that as a person that's really pushing to evolution. If you're just learning to do a bunch of spells and rituals, then you're going to keep finding books on new spells and new rituals. But in magic, if you're actually looking to evolve, you're going to find out something, a true fact. There's only so far you can go on books, and you hit a ceiling. You hit a ceiling, fam. And then you're going to need to start traveling the astral plane, the astral world. That's the next step. That's why if human science can only take you so far, then you need to go to spiritual science, which is metaphysics. Dreaming of snakes is bad. No, dreaming of snakes, it could be your animal spirit. I dream of snakes all the time. How can we learn to realize? That's a good question. You need to first learn how to meditate. If you can still your mind, you'll learn how to realize. That's the first step. I don't want to go too far because you won't remember it all. First is learn how to meditate. And then there's a whole process of realization. You know, you got to realize the type of world you live in. It's all fake. Brother Yo said, please, are angels like Michael more powerful than our African deities? That's a good question, family. That's a really good question. So Michael, the archangels, see, let me tell you something. The vast majority of angels are more powerful than gods. I'm going to say that again. The vast majority of angels are more powerful than God. They get their power directly from Creator. The gods are powerful as well. But the angels, even though they're powerful, they serve them. I'm telling y'all, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, that's exactly how it is. Except that they only show the gods of destruction that have angels. No, the gods of destruction and the gods of creation both have angels. Right? So it depends on what you mean by power. It depends on what you mean by power. But Michael is somebody that everybody knows. And that's just what we call him. He has many names, by the way. In Earth, though, we call him Michael. He has many names. Okay? So it depends on what you mean. Because you got Obatala. There's nobody more powerful than Obatala. Obatala is off the charts powerful. Off the charts. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say Michael is more powerful than the African gods, like the Orisha or the Voodoo gods or anything like that. It all depends on what type of power you're talking about. Are you talking about strength? No, there could be some gods that, like Ogun, that could be more powerful, just as powerful as Michael. Could match him. Probably more powerful, right? Do you mean the power to shape reality? Michael can't shape reality like Obatala. So it depends on what level of power you're talking about, because we call the the Yoruba deities, angels. Same thing with the voodoo deities. They call them angels. But what people don't understand, these are God, angelic gods. Yes, there are such thing as an angelic God. All right. So we're gonna have to do a part 2 on this, guys. I gotta get ready and go into a meeting. I actually came on here later than I thought, running around doing other stuff. But once again, if you guys want to support my new book, it's below. My Patreon is below. I'm gonna come back on here probably definitely in a few days, and we'll do a part 2 of more books you should have in your library. Okay, more books you should have in your library. All right. For those who came in late, you have to go back and rewatch it. Okay, and we'll do a part 2. So I'm going to change the title of this to part 1. All right, and we'll come back and do a part 2, family. Right now, I got to go take care of some business, some tribal business, and we'll get back to it, family. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Peace and love. Make sure y'all get those books, and we got some more good books coming for y'all. All right. Peace and love, family. Peace and love.